Hi and welcome to another video. I'm Eva and I'm a digital artist as well as mixed media artist. In this video, I would like to share with you some ideas, tips and reflections that I use to start a new sketchbook or a blank page. I already started this sketchbook, as you can see, but I haven't filled the first page yet. Sometimes I find myself delaying the start of a new sketchbook page or new blank page, experiencing the familiar first page apprehension that many artists face. Other times I'm eager to dive into a new sketchbook or start a new sketchbook spread, often driven by challenges and certain topics. However, with this page spread, without a specific theme in mind at first, I noticed more hesitation. So today I want to share some tips and insights on starting a blank page or a new sketchbook spread, as well as take you through the process of creating a sea life landscape on this sketchbook spread. During the days I took a break from drawing, which was recently, I was still being inspired by photography or watching other art videos, but the blankness of a new sketchbook spread seemed daunting. So I love to create, but sometimes we as artists put too much pressure on ourselves, especially when starting something new. Beginning a fresh, untouched new page in a sketchbook can be intimidating. We often want our first piece to be exceptional. Well, maybe it's just me, but maybe you know what I'm talking about. So, setting a high standard for the rest of the sketchbook. And this pressure of putting a high standard, I'm constantly navigating through as an artist. And I really believe there is no good or bad art. It's more about the way we look at it. But I still feel the pressure, so I still need to remind myself this. There is not a good or bad art. There is just art and process of creation. So despite not being entirely pleased with how this specific artwork in this sketchbook turned out, I am not disheartened. The main goal was to make a start or basically create something on this new sketchbook spread. So I hope to create something I was proud of, and it actually turned out better than I was expecting. So for me, starting meant choosing a subject that felt more comfortable. And I really like drawing landscapes, so that was my natural choice for this piece. If you're unsure about on how to begin a new sketchbook spread, I highly recommend choosing a familiar subject. While sketchbooks are excellent for experimentation, the first page might feel more approachable if it's something within your comfort zone. And that's why I chose this particular landscape, inspired by underwater photography reference that I had from my visit to aquarium. So this would be one of my favorite tips on this topic. Whether painting digitally or traditionally, beginning with familiar subjects or style can significantly ease the intimidation of a blank page. In my practice, I often start with subjects I'm comfortable with, like simple shapes, colors that I like, landscapes that I have experience with drawing, or character sketches that I have done many times before. This approach helped me to warm up my creative muscles and set a relaxing tone for the other pages and the rest of the sketchbook. It's like having conversation with an old friend. It's easy, comforting, and great way to start. Another thing that I mentioned here and in the previous videos, I don't think there is a good or bad art. In my experience, embracing imperfections is crucial in our drawing practice or when starting a new sketchbook spread. It's quite natural to want the first page to be masterpiece because we see it first when we open the new sketchbook, but this pressure can be counterproductive, and I've learned that the true value of a sketchbook lies in the ability to capture the raw, unfiltered process of creativity. It should be a space for exploration, mistakes, and growth. I actually like seeing lines from initial sketches, sometimes showing through even to final artwork, whether it's digital or traditional sketchbook spread. By accepting that not every sketch will be perfect, you free yourself to experiment more boldly and learn from each stroke. In addition to this, if you don't have any pieces that are not your favorite in sketchbook, how would you see your progress or to learn what you actually like? I think it's important to look through a variety of your art and compare to see what you want to get better at, what topics you simply enjoy drawing, and therefore getting better at more than the other topics. So basically, stepping back and after a while seeing how you improved. To expand on this, I view each sketchbook as a journey of learning and exploration. It's important to remind ourselves that a sketchbook is not just finished, polished artworks, but more importantly, the experimentation, making mistakes, and evolving as an artist. I try to remind this myself a lot because I often like nice looking finished pages that I'm proud of all the time. But the perspective of learning helps in appreciating each page as a step in my artistic growth, regardless of the outcome. Learning and following certain lessons help you also with hesitation on what to draw. For example, when I practice with oils, following lessons from Evolve learning program, I never have that feeling of, oh, I don't know what to draw or how to draw it. And when following the program, I don't even remember to consider the fear of blank page because I just follow the practice and focus on improving my skills. And I also have a discount code which you can find in the description below if you want to try Evolve as well. You can also watch my other video if you want to learn more about my experience with Evolve. Another tip for dealing with a blank page is to create a ritual for drawing and painting new sketchbook spread. For example, you can add a personal and meaningful touch to your art practice. For me, this might involve drawing a specific theme, writing a date next to a sketch, maybe writing more info about what I was drawing, or some inspirational quote. This ritual serves as a bridge between me and the new sketchbook spread, making it feel less like daunting new challenge and helps me to create more excitement when starting something new. Another tip which I often use is that I often leave the first page blank. And then when I feel like, I like to come back to the first page, and this is a strategy I found useful when painting traditionally, but obviously this strategy can't be used in digital, or at least I am using it mostly in traditional sketchbooks. So when drawing traditionally, leaving the first page blank takes away the pressure of having to create a perfect start. I often begin on the second page, third page, or sometimes in the middle of the sketchbook, which somehow feels less formal and more forgiving. That's why I have so many unfinished sketchbooks, so I can always return to the first page later, perhaps when I feel more connected to the sketchbook, or when I have a special idea for it. When I ask other artists if they do the same, it seems that this is a common practice among many of you for starting a new sketchbook. So to begin on a different page rather than the first one. Several artists have suggested this to me, and I can definitely see the appeal of this approach to a new sketchbook page or a new sketchbook, because it means that the sketchbook isn't completely untouched anymore and you already started to make it your own. Another thing that I use is adopting a thematic approach, which can provide direction and purpose to a new sketchbook. In my case, I may dedicate a sketchbook to a particular subject, like a nature landscape or a specific art technique I want to develop. So for example, one sketchbook can be only for drawing animals or only to use black and white sketches to practice composition. This focus helps me in curating ideas and maintaining consistency throughout the sketchbook, making the process more engaging and more purposeful. And when I come up with new ideas, I often share new themes and props with you in my newsletter. So if you are not on my newsletter list, you can find the link below as well. Another tip how you can use the first sketchbook page is to designate it as a test page of your sketchbook. This is where I can experiment with new color combinations, new materials I want to try in the sketchbook, or a technique without the worry of ruining the actual sketches when I don't know how the materials or colors would work together. This type of page is useful for understanding about how certain colors can fit together, or how different mediums would react to a new paper, and this can vary a lot between different sketchbooks. And this type of test page can help me also in maintaining the consistency of my sketchbook pages, and also serves as a reference for my materials, behavior and color. Another thing which can help you to create better connection with a new sketchbook is personalizing the cover of your sketchbook to make it more inviting and inspiring. I like to add stickers from other artists to the cover, but you can also paint, draw or collage the cover with elements that resonate with you. This process not only makes the sketchbook unique, but also builds a connection with it, making it less intimidating and more like a personal journal of your artistic journey. And when you have more sketchbooks or more sketchbook pages filled, you can reflect on your past pages. And reflecting on past sketchbooks is a powerful way to recognize personal growth. I often revisit old sketchbooks and old sketchbook spreads to see the evolution of my art style and my skills. I find it quite rewarding and often eye-opening experience that boosts my confidence or helps me to see what skills I want to develop more, and provides a tangible record of my artistic journey. This reflection is a reminder that every page, no matter how imperfect, contributes to our development as artists. So starting a new sketchbook page or new sketchbook in general is part of artistic journey. Each page is an opportunity to explore, experiment and grow. The key is just to do something, start, regardless of the outcome of the drawing. So we should remember that every artist goes through this process, and it's perfectly normal to feel a bit hesitant at first. So thank you so much for being here and keeping me company while I'm painting, and being such a nice and supportive community here in this small corner of the internet. So keep sketching, keep experimenting, and try to enjoy the process. So thank you so much again for being here, and see you in the next video. Bye!